One night when I was scrolling through social media, this ad for singles popped up. It said, looking for a love connection? Single men in your area want to connect with you. I stared at the online ad. I was wary, but I was curious.
It was 9 p.m. on a Friday night, and sadly I was alone, bored, feeling that desperation of loneliness that seems like it's going to suffocate you if you don't get some sort of, get a puff from an inhaler of passion, or whatever those people use to keep from dying when they're wheezing.
Okay, that was a terrible analogy.
Although I'm mostly a content, independent, confident woman, it had been almost a year since I had been on a date, and I was missing that flirt and the banter of a love interest. I studied this ad targeting singles,
and honestly, it was like going to the grocery store when you're hungry. All the junk food looks amazing. Plus, these were stock photos of happy, bright, handsome men.
Normal looking, friendly, well groomed.
This was not my first time venturing into the online dating world.
I had briefly enjoyed that circus a couple years back. And let's just say the expectations and the reality are often not in alignment.
Let me just give a disclaimer though, I'm not at all opposed to online dating.
I know people who have found the love of their life on dating sites.
I applaud the people who have created an online platform for the lonely people of the world.
Yay! Loneliness stinks, but connecting is awesome. So, yes.
I'm no naive little airhead.
I knew these pictures on this single whatever website were stock photos. I knew they weren't real, eligible men in my area.
However, it did occur to me that if I was at home looking at this site,
feeling lonely, considering signing on to browse,
maybe...
Yep, I thought to myself, I'm a normal, intelligent, nice-looking woman sitting at home alone tonight, looking at this site. The odds are there's probably a normal, intelligent, nice-looking man who is also sitting at home alone tonight, looking at this site.
He's wishing he could find a woman like me. Boom! I'm claiming my harvest.
The ad said, no cost, no obligation, browse for free. Since I'm an adventurous person and I'm a sucker for triple exclamation marks, I decided to sign up for the free trial and peruse the single guys in my area.
Y'all get ready to be perused!
But I soon learned that the, quote, free trial only allowed me to see partial profiles.
Which was a frustrating, pointless trial in my opinion. But, if I would only pay $29.95 a month,
I could have unlimited access to all the profiles and could browse to my heart's content.
It's raining men! Hallelujah!
No thanks. I'll just binge watch Mad Men tonight. I rolled my eyes. I left the site.
I felt silly that I had even attempted it.
The next day,
I had an email from singlewhatever.com telling me, Joe just winked at you.
And I had 3 other emails telling me that Ron, Daryl, and Gary had sent me messages. I took a quick look at their photos.
Ew,
The next day, I had 5 winks from Bill, Dan, Keith, Michael, and Greg.
I ignored them all.
The next day, more winks, more pokes, and messages. Delete. The next day, more. Delete. 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 The next day, more winks, some pokes, some messages.
Delete.
The next day, more. Delete. 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 Since I was too lazy to return to the site and deactivate my account, I just deleted these emails every day without opening them. However,
after a whole month of deleting every day,
I woke up one morning to an email from singlewhatever.com
that floored me.
It said, reminder, Norman has responded to your message.
Message? What?
I clicked on the link, and what I saw took my breath away. There was a picture of Norman, sitting on the edge of his bed in a dimly lit room that quite possibly reeked of boiled cabbage. I could envision this cabbagey aroma from his mama's muggy kitchen that had oozed down the hallway and seeped under his bedroom door. He sat there with his fists clenched awkwardly on each side of his belly button, as if he were clasping an imaginary PlayStation control. It's like he didn't know what to do with his hands. Well, I mean, who does? He was a younger version of Homer Simpson's dad. Greasy, thin hair that was squiggling flatly across his oily forehead. A sweet but uncomfortable smile that hinted at irritable bowel syndrome. It was bleak. I felt awkward just looking at the photo.
But get this, below Norman's picture was a conversation between Norman and me. Yeah, it went like this.
Norman, wink. Me, you look interesting. Tell me more about yourself. Norman, well, I like beats. I like PlayStation and WWF wrestling for starters. Me, that sounds nice. I'm glad you winked at me. Norman, you look really pretty. Tell me about you. Norman, a day later. Hello, sunshine. Did you get my message? Norman, 2 days later. Would love to hear from you. Norman, 5 days later. Are you still there, pretty lady? Norman, 9 days later. Hello?
What on earth? I knew I had not had a conversation with Norman. I hadn't even returned to that site since that unfortunate lonely Friday night when I first signed on. Why was there dialogue from me to Norman? I had not typed any of that. I was baffled. I was alarmed. I was aghast. I can't think of any more descriptions to continue that chain of alliteration.
I'm using levity now, but at the time I was stunned and livid.
And by the way, he didn't actually mention beats in the conversation. I don't remember what all he said, but after reading his description of himself, I was sure that beats were going to come up in the conversation in the near future.
I did a little detective work, and I quickly learned that the single whatever site had a default setting called
Send an automated response for me. What? That's a terrible idea.
I discovered that since I had never unclicked that option, nor even seen it, my profile was set to that default mode.
No!
My profile was set up to send an automated response for me. For me. Let me say it again. It was sending messages for me. So, in a nutshell, single whatever had been sending winks and pokes and pleasant responses on my behalf. Yep, for an entire month, I had been unknowingly poking Joe, Ron, Daryl, Gary, Bill, Dan, Keith, Michael, Greg, and a whole host of other guys. I was mortified, not only at the realization that almost 50 men had received responses, winks, and pokes from me over the past 31 days, but because poor Norman, I mean really pitiful Norman. I looked at his profile picture, him sitting on the edge of his bed, fists clenched awkwardly,
That uncomfortable but sweet smile. So vulnerable. So lonely. Normie. And my heart hurt for him. And then I got mad.
I wrote singlewhatever.com a nasty letter
Expressing my humiliation and my disgust at their playing with people's emotions like that. Sending men winks and pokes and messages on my behalf. Wrong.
I cannot tell you how livid I was.
It was so unbelievable. I took a screenshot of Norman to show my best friend. I'm a very fiery person, if you can't tell, but I'm not sure she had ever seen me that mad.
And as I angrily spat out the story to her, she felt my anger, my awkwardness, my pain for Norman.
And as I sat there staring at her, fire in my eyes, panting, not sure what even to say next, I was so mad.
We both burst into weeping laughter.
It was weeping laughter.
cried
It was
laughing.
the kind where your mascara's running, it was
down your face.
you're choking, you can't breathe, you're about to pee yourself. It was insane.
that kind
it
of
was that
laughter.
mixture
We
of
both hit the
embarrassment
shower
and
after being
disappointment and
drenched
hurt
in that
and all of your emotions.
sweaty,
It's crazy.
It was like losing it at a funeral. This incident happened years ago. But to this day, when I think of Norman, I still feel that burn of humiliation in my face and the anger and the awkwardness. I still have that picture of Norman. I saved it. No, I'm not going to show you the picture of Norman because I actually have become sort of protective of him. And these days when I come across the picture of Norman, I feel a fondness for him. It's like we have this connection, and when I think of Norman, I feel my inner mother bear going into defensive mode for him. Grr. I have never met Norman, and I never will. I think it's safe to say that he and I are not a match.
We're not a match.
But I can tell you with certainty that Norman and I are just alike in this. I know what it feels like to feel lonely and to reach out for human connection on social media. I know what it's like to hope that just maybe there's somebody out there who would like me for me. And I know what it's like to hope that this excruciating loneliness won't last forever. Hey Norman, here's to you, buddy, wherever you are. I hope you find her. I hope she's the WWF and PlayStation loving gal of your dreams. And I hope she likes beets.
I'm Karen Jr. Thank you so much for your support and love and for watching this. If you enjoyed it, if you would please share it, help me get the word out. I'm an independent artist and I appreciate your help so much. And be sure and click on my other videos. I've got lots more for you to see and listen to.